What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Titan Game Day morning here from the home office. Two undefeateds at Nissan Stadium today. The 5-0 Pittsburgh Steelers coming into Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. We're going to talk about the three keys to success here from the home office this morning on the Titan Game Day morning show. We have a lot to discuss. We know that Adoree Jackson will not play. Steph Dobbs says, or Griffin says, I'm glowing after that Indiana win. No, I'm glowing because I have my pumpkin spice latte, and Indiana got a dub. Good morning to everybody who are the fans of the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers, and to you guys of the undefeated Tennessee Titans. We got a lot to talk about here over the course of this morning's show. We'll do three keys to success, as is the custom. We will talk about who will play, who will not play, of course, and what that means. We'll talk about which specific player needs to have the greatest impact this morning. And then, of course, we will get to the MyBookie.ag best bet. Before we get started, you guys got to share this show around if you would be so kind. Good morning to everybody on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on Twitch TV, and on Periscope. We're happy to see everybody here this morning. I hope to see many of you at the stadium. I'll be going over to Nissan Stadium right after we wrap up this pregame show. But first, you got to share this show around. Buck with the Gucci robe, Ric Flair drip, so ready for today, says Jared Hicks. Baby, I'm always ready. I'm always up for game day, but we got to make sure your friends are up for game day. You got to invite them to share this show. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen on Periscope, that's where you can go to retweet if you're viewing with us there. Retweet the show, those three little dots in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. But morning, Buck, what happened on Friday's show? I don't have a Friday show, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Regardless, good morning to YouTube and Twitch TV. We're very happy to see you. Facebook Live, you know how this goes. You share now to public. That's how the Facebook friends get involved here on a Sunday morning from the home office. And now that more of you are here, you guys are ready to go. You're ready for the football, and you're ready to talk about it here on Titan Game Day morning. So let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome into Titan Game Day morning on a Sunday. I'm your host, Buck Rising, Week 7 edition from the home office, courtesy of the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage, the official realtor of the undefeated Tennessee Titans, GaryAshton.com. That's where you go. Two Rivers Ford, the best place to buy your next used or new or pre-owned vehicle at Two Rivers Ford, just east of Mount Juliet. The best in the business, Nashville's headquarters for the new 2021 Ford Bronco, a badass-looking machine, just as the badass service that you will receive, courtesy of our friends at Two Rivers. And, of course, MyBookie.ag, where you go to make all of your NFL bets ahead of today's action. You double your first deposit at MyBookie.ag with the promo code MyTitans, MyTitans, MyTitans at MyBookie.com. Always got to have the bathrobe, says Ryan Powell. I got my bathrobe. I got my pumpkin spice latte. I am ready to rock here on a Sunday. And now I need you guys to give me your keys to success for the Titans. I've got three. I want you to give me your biggest one that you will need to see from this undefeated team hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, who also are undefeated. We know that they will be without this morning Taylor Lewan with the torn ACL suffered against the Houston Texans, a hugely unfortunate injury. And also, most importantly, at this point, without Adoree Jackson, who was designated to return off of IR. You guys trolled me in the mentions for months now. He has been designated to return. He has not yet been activated from IR. Dane Cruikshank did get activated today, and they called up Darren Bates and David Quessenberry. That likely means that Isaiah Wilson will not be active today as well, for any of you who are asking. Give me your biggest Titans key to success here on Facebook Live, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch TV. I'll give you my first one. I'll read some of yours, and then I'll give you the other two that I've got here on a Sunday morning. Good morning, Buck, says Titans for Life. Good to see everybody. Marcus Walker says a beautiful day. It is a gorgeous fall October day here for two undefeated teams to play at Nissan Stadium. Let's get your comments and your keys to success. Hopefully Clowney and Beasley get their shit together so far. Duds, says Jason Donahue. That's a big one for him. BMO54, Titans need to attack the middle of Pittsburgh defense through the air and with Henry. Interior dominance will snatch the Steelers' heart. Man, that Steelers defense is as tough as it comes in the middle. The front seven is incredible. Now, you obviously will not have Devin Bush today, but Cam Hayward and Stephon Tuitt alongside with Bud Dupree and TJ Watt coming off the edge, they are about as dominant a front, certainly I think the most dominant front that you have seen thus far if you're the Titans, and the best one that you've played to this point. But I mean, they're among the best in the league. They're second against the run in defense this year so far through 7 weeks of the season. Kevin Leonard says he wants them to limit big plays on defense. No gaffes in coverage. No 53-yard touchdowns to Will Fuller like against the Texans. Obviously, Will Fuller plays for the Texans, but I'm talking about the play that Malcolm Butler gave up. Be better on third down. That's huge. Third down conversions are key, Jason Donahue says. Pressure on Ben from Adam Barlow. Jared Hicks agrees with that pressure. So my first key for success against the Steelers, it has to start with one of Mike Vrabel's favorite cliches here on a Sunday morning. Let me take a sip of my PSL real quick. It's so good, especially when it's 50 degrees out here. The pumpkin spice latte just tastes so much better. No free ads. But coverage consistency has to happen. We talked to Mike Keith. I hosted 3HL with Don Davenport on 104.5 The Zone this week. We talked to Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans. And Mike said everything changes if Adoree Jackson is able to play in this game. Now, he is not able to, but what their biggest difficulty so far is without Adoree is that everybody has been put into a more unnatural position than they designed this defense for them to play, right? Adoree Jackson is supposed to be the number one corner. He's supposed to be the speed guy. Malcolm Butler is supposed to be able to play off of that. Christian Fulton to help them in the slot. Now, with Adoree out for, again, a sixth game to start the season, he has not played in any of these games so far. Malcolm Butler, Christian Fulton, Jonathan Joseph, and either Ty Smith or Chris Jackson, depending between the two of them, which one is active, those guys need to be on their game. The pass rush, we know, is an issue. I really don't have a solution for the pass rush, and it makes it a lot harder on the secondary if Clowney, Beasley, Landry, Simmons, etc. cannot get home. And Jeffrey Simmons he can't do it by himself. He really can't, especially against the Steelers' offensive line, because they'll have David DeCastro back today. It's been one of the best guards in football for as long as I've been watching football, it seems. David DeCastro's been in the league forever. Coverage consistency, that is key, not just from the corners, but you need to see better play out of Byard. You need to see plays made by Kevin Byard. You need to see the linebackers play a little better, play a little more consistently in coverage between Rashaan Evans and Jayon Brown. And Amani Hooker has been a really, really good player for you in that third safety look. You need to be able to get coverage consistency out of these three guys, or out of these guys on the back end of this defense at this point. We'll read more of your keys to success. I'll give you my other two here in just a second, right after I tell you about the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage, one of our proud presenting sponsors here, the official realtor of the Tennessee Titans, the undefeated Tennessee Titans, Gary Ashton and the Ashton RE/MAX Group of RE/MAX Advantage. I'm doing this from my house. We're sitting on my backyard. You guys are drinking coffee. Or at least I'm drinking coffee. Maybe you're drinking something else, probably before a noon kickoff. You guys are drinking coffee with me on my back patio, courtesy of the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage. GaryAshton.com, your dream address without the stress, just like I was able to do here in Middle Tennessee. The best in the business, the official realtor of all of your favorite sports teams and your favorite sports show, GaryAshton.com. More keys to success courtesy of you guys on Facebook Live, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch TV. Anilo, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the name. And Yellow, I want to make sure that I'm trying to get it right without botching it. Pass rush, without a doubt, is what Agnello says. Stephen. Now I'm shook. Pass rush, tight end play, kicking game. Those are three keys to success. Rich says Cruikshank off it as well. He is. He has returned from IR, and he will be available to you today. Whether or not he's active is an entirely different proposition, right? Now, he is a part of the roster. He's a part of the 53-man roster. Whether he will be on the, 48-man game day roster now is a different matter entirely. Montreal Titan is drinking espresso. I got a little espresso. I think they put espresso in the pumpkin spice latte, right? They're going to have to cover Juju, says Robert Patton. No, it's not even Juju that you're worried about. I mean, you watch James Washington, and he went absolutely off last week against the Cleveland Browns. Chase Claypool is a nightmare. Juju maybe the second receiver, like comfortably the second receiver in that offense, and I believe they're getting another one of those wide receivers back this week before Chase Claypool kind of had a coming out party. Like these guys are all over the field. They're going to get their yards, right? And what matters most here is that the pressure by every other team that the Steelers have played, and they haven't played a bunch of great teams, and this is their first road game, by the way. I don't know how much you take account for home field advantage in the pandemic when there's, I think there's 12% of you guys allowed in the stadium today. By the way, if you're in the stadium early and you happen to see us, the media hangs out in the stands now in the lower bowl because that's as close as we can get to the field with no pregame access during the Rona year. Make sure you say hi. We'll take a socially distanced picture or whatever you want to do. Just talk some shop as you like. You don't necessarily, I don't think anybody wants a picture with me, especially how I look this morning, but I haven't put on my face yet because I haven't got ready for the game. King Henry's going to have to run over that Steelers defense, says Steven. But yeah, they're going to get their yards. Ben Roethlisberger is getting rid of the football faster than any quarterback in the sport right now. And that is a huge, huge concern, not just because the Steelers are good, but because the Titans defense to this point has been bad. I mean, they're great when it comes to turnovers. They're okay on first and second down, but third down they're atrocious. And they consistently have these coverage busts. They cannot have those today if they're going to keep pace. Kernick says, take a picture with my cutout, but listen, if it's anywhere close to, I can't remember what section I normally go down and take my pregame, like pictures for A to Z and video and stuff of people coming out of the tunnel and working out and on and on and on. But if I see you, Kernick, I'll make sure to snap a shot and put it on Twitter. Butler going to get burnt today, says John Bell. Tanny gets it out quick against the blitzes. Tight Nick. Listen, I'm not worried about your offense. I'm really not worried at all about your offense keeping pace. Now, I'm worried about their pass rush against Ty Sambrayo and really against the offensive line in general, because they have been better in pass protection this year, but they're still not great. And you're playing a great Steelers defense and a great Steelers front seven. So I would be concerned. Mostly about the pass rush and that particular matchup. But I do trust that Arthur Smith and Mike Vrabel have put together a plan that will help them mitigate the pressure that they will see, because the Steelers blitz guys from everywhere and they run blitz the hell out of running backs. Derrick Henry's going to see a lot of that today. 3 Titans keys to success. So I said coverage consistency. I need to see the quick passing game. Play action has been your best friend because of the threat of Derrick Henry. And I talked to Mina Kimes about this on the 615 sessions. Mina said, the illusion of Derrick Henry substantially helping the play action game that much more outside of Tannehill just playing quarterback really well, like it's a little misconstrued. Now, it obviously helps that Derrick Henry attracts attention. But today, maybe you want to see them go to the play action. You want to see them try and get the Steelers to bite on play action, but you need to see the quick passing game today. Don't get too cute. Don't call plays that take longer to set up, which is typically the case with play action. Get the ball out quickly because the Steelers are coming. And then, as always, it's been the key through 5 weeks. Why should it change? The third and final key: keep your commitment to the run. This is the second best run defense in football right now, but Derrick Henry has to eat. You have to wear that front seven down with Derrick Henry. It is a title fight. You're delivering body blows through the first 3 quarters with that running back so that he can have a massive effect in the fourth when the Steelers are tired, when the defense is tired, and Derrick Henry can start to make big plays there. The body blows with Derrick Henry are as important as far as I'm concerned, I mean, the scores and the 94-yard touchdown runs are great, right? But you want to see him continue to throw these body blows throughout the three quarters. So then in the fourth, he can really take over. That's always been Derrick Henry's game. So 3 Titans keys to success here on a Sunday morning: coverage consistency, quick passing game, feed the king. That's how it goes here on Titan game day morning. I think Derrick gets 100 plus today, says Titan Nick. I would be shocked, to be completely honest. And I don't think that's I don't think it's the worst thing if he doesn't, right? I mean, if he gets 100 yards, you guys win. Which is, I think it's 15-0, the record when Derrick Henry gets 100 yards. But I just don't, it's not that kind of game today. Like, I really think they're going to try and make Tannehill beat them. And so far, Tannehill has been very easily able to beat people. Tyler Shedrin says, how about those Hoosiers, Buck? Yeah, Tennessee Titans undefeated, Indiana Hoosiers football undefeated. Big football school, apparently. 16-0, says P. Priz. It's 15 or 16, either way. Regardless, that just means Henry broke a big one, says Titans for life, which is great. That's the cherry. But it's not necessarily the most important thing, right? You need to see him, though. You need to see them stay committed to the running game so that he can deliver those body blows. And then if a big one is there to be had, he breaks the big one. If not, use him on the goal line. That's how that's where he does his best work. Let him drag linebackers across the goal line there, as you saw him do last week against the Texans. Let's move on, because we don't have a ton of time this morning. I was running a little late, so I apologize. Let us talk about which Titans player needs to have the greatest impact today against the Steelers. Let me know in the comments on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch TV, on Periscope. We're everywhere this morning on Titan Game Day morning as we sip our, for me, it's a pumpkin spice latte. For you, maybe it's a Busch Light, no free ads. Maybe it's a little espresso, whatever it is. Maybe it's you got a little Bailey's in your coffee, whatever it may be. You guys are pre-gaming. I understand. I gotta keep it between the lines today. I gotta work. I got a 16-hour workday ahead. Which player needs to have the greatest impact today against the Steelers? While you guys give me your answer, I will tell you about our friends at Two Rivers Ford, who are currently in the process of driving the music, but also delivering you the best car buying experience in Middle Tennessee. The dealership just east of Nashville International Airport in Mount Juliet, off Belinda Parkway. TwoRiversFord.com, Nashville's Ford 2021 Ford Bronco headquarters. I don't know if you guys seen the picture of this thing, but I'm drooling and I haven't even got to test drive the thing yet. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to test drive the car. But if you don't have time to go out to the dealership like I do, you can schedule a test drive online at TwoRiversFord.com. They'll bring the car to you. It's the Amazon experience. They are the best. They are all about customer service at Two Rivers Ford. So you can go to the dealership or check them out at TwoRiversFord.com. Which Titan needs to have the greatest impact today against Pittsburgh? Raymond, Khalif Raymond is an interesting answer. That is not where I was expecting the bidding to start, but it could be the unlikeliest of heroes. Justin says John, Kevin Byard, according to Steph, and Tanner agree. Tanner on Facebook, Steph on Periscope. Jesse OB wants to see Adam Humphries have a big game. Top Troop on YouTube. Our cornerbacks, I want Jackson back, but Butler shows up and then he disappears. Well, the situation this morning is tough. You're not going to get Jackson back. He continues to be on IR, and so that's not possible. So you will need to see plays made by Malcolm Butler. You will need to see plays made by Christian Fulton. You will need to see plays made by Jonathan Joseph or Chris Jackson and Ty Smith, whichever of them is active today. But the player that you do not have, unfortunately for you, because it does change a great deal about your defense, is Adoree Jackson here on Titan Game Day morning. Which player needs to have the greatest impact? Jeff wants to see it from Clowney. Corey Smith wants Byard to wake up. See, it's not... Kevin Byard is such an interesting case study. I wish we had more time to dissect what may be going on with Byard, because the reaction time is occasionally has been kind of late. You saw that Darren Fells touchdown against Houston where Byard was just kind of late to turn. and perhaps make a play on the ball, or at least try and get a pass, defend the pass in that particular situation. You have seen him drop interceptions. I think that was against Gardner Minshew or maybe Minnesota. I can't remember, but the very rare dropped pick by Kevin Byard, I'm not sure what's going on there. He's still a good player, and the impact outside of the box score, it's still there more often than not. But I do think that the curious case of Kevin Byard this year, a team captain, he's not at the standard that you want him at or that you need him at, given how the rest of the defense seems to be underperforming to a degree. Byard was looking in the backfield on Fells's TD, says Titans for life. Yeah, and maybe that's just good play design by Houston. I did watch that a couple different times to just kind of see, what he was looking at. So that is possible, and good players get got too, and that may just have been a moment that was easy to highlight and say, look, Kevin Byard not having a good season because he missed this one touchdown. It happens to everybody, but you do need to see better play at this point. Clowney will have to get to the QB, says Steve. It's going to be, I really do think it's going to be tough against the pressure today with Jadeveon Clowney. Ben is getting rid of the ball so fast, faster than any quarterback in football right now. They've changed this offense with him coming off the injury to make him so much more efficient. He's doing it's kind of the Brady Pats offense a little bit more, and he still has big chunk plays down the field, but he's allowing the receivers to do more for him and just being quick and decisive with the football, to where it's a little bit death by 1,000 paper cuts, and then you get the yards after catch and yards after contact that are really killing people right now. Need to tackle ball with Big Ben. Need to tackle ball. What is tackle ball? Jeff Burrows. I'm not entirely sure what tackle ball. I guess that's just the sport of football. You need to play good football against Big Ben. Where's Amani Hooker? Has he been getting a lot of time? Yeah, he plays a good amount in the Titans 3 safety look, and he's been grading out pretty well. However seriously you take pro football focuses metrics. A to Z Sports Nashville. Brittany says, don't generalize it to one player. The whole secondary is the problem collectively. No, I'm not placing the, listen, who's generalized? Brittany. They'll come in here and lob accusations at me like I am not generalizing or like I am just calling out one player as if it's the problem. That's never been the case. I have been very, very honest with you about the problems with the secondary, but Byard is the best among them, right? You need the best to play their best when the rest of the parts are failing. Now, perhaps he is being failed around him, and so it makes him look worse. That's, of course, entirely possible. But you do still need to see more out of your all-pro caliber safety, right? I mean, I don't think that's an unfair analysis by any stretch of the imagination. Here on Titan Game Day Morning, he was never woke though, says Ronnie Sneed. Who was never woke? I don't know who or what was woke. Tackle to football, fumbles, says Titan for life. Yeah, I mean you could turnovers. Turnovers, I think, is what Titans for life is trying to say there, as is Jeff Burrows on Periscope. Titans are missing leadership on defense, says Roderick. No, I don't think that's true. I think the leadership is fine. I just think, the plays that you're used to them making are not yet being made. Top Troop wants to know, can you tell me why the media is hyping up DK more than AJ Brown? Do you think AJ is better than DK? To me, he is. No, I think they're about the same talent-wise. I think Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Tannehill, and I think the Seahawks are a bigger name, a bigger franchise, and a bigger team. So it's easier to talk about DK on a regular basis. That's all it is. Ronnie Sneed says Vic Beasley, Buck. That's who needs to step up. I mean, he played like 10 snaps last week. He can't. How much stepping up can he do if he plays 10 snaps? Like, it's just, he's not an impact player. To me, it's Jonnu here on Titan Game Day Morning. That's my answer. Which player that needs to step up before we get to the MyBookie.ag best bet? Jonnu Smith needs to step up. Jonnu Smith needs to have a big game. Robert Spelaine, who you are familiar with from his time as a practice squad player, and a really good story here in Tennessee. Robert Spelaine will be starting in place of Devin Bush, which is just a great place for Jonnu Smith and Anthony Ferkser and the tight end, and really Humphreys. Anybody in the middle of the field with the passing game to exploit, that is going to be huge, because if the Steelers have one weakness, as you kind of look at this team, they've been very, very well rounded through these 5 games, and they rank in the top of DVOA if you're an analytics nerd and you like to study these things for all 3 phases of the game. But where they do have an issue is they allow a ton of yardage when the pass rush doesn't get to the quarterback. If you can give Tannehill time, when you adjust for how easy the Pittsburgh Steelers' schedule has been so far, they are 30th in DVOA covering wide receivers. And remember, they won't have Mike Hilton today, one of their best corners, just not just in pass coverage, but in run defense as well. They are 30th in DVOA when it comes to covering wide receivers, and you will have your full complement today with Humphreys, Corey, and AJ. 31st in DVOA on deep passes, meaning 16 yards or more down the field. Each of their corners, Joe Hayden, Steve Nelson, and Mike Hilton, who will not play, have each allowed over 8 yards per target. They can be exploited in the passing game, meaning you can keep up with these guys if it comes down to Ryan Tannehill versus Ben Roethlisberger. The key is, can you get the ball out quickly? Can you protect Ryan Tannehill against one of the best pass rushes in pro football right now? Pittsburgh hasn't played anybody good, says Jemai. Well, they're playing somebody good today, and so we'll see just how good. You could make the same argument that you guys haven't played very many good teams outside of Buffalo. The Stone, or whatever you want to call it, it goes both ways, is what I'm trying to say. Watt is out, right? Says P. Pris. No, I don't believe TJ Watt is out, but I can double check that. Last I saw, he was on the injury report, but I do believe that he is playing today. TJ Watt, let me double check as we sit here on Titan Game Day morning. I do not see any report. He did sit on Thursday. No, that was 2 weeks ago. I have not. So to your point, I don't know anything. If TJ Watt is out, fullback Watt is out. Derek Watt is out. Okay. Everybody, you guys real worried about the day. They did that to you on purpose. They're trying to confuse you guys, get you a little shook. One Watt is out, but it's the fullback Watt. That's pretty good. Here on Titan Game Day morning. Too many Watts here on Titan Game Day morning. All right, let's put a bow on this thing because I got to go to work. I got to get dressed. I got to go to Nissan Stadium and cover a game between 2 undefeated football teams, and I hope to see several of you there if you care to say hi. I will be down walking amongst. That's kind of what we have to do. We don't get pregame access, field access anymore. So we'll be walking the stands. Myself, Teron Davenport, Paul Kaharski, Jimmy Wyatt, all your favorite Titans reporters. We will be out there, so I hope you say hi. Let's put a bow on this with the MyBookie.ag best bet. What is your Titans best bet today against the Steelers? I'll give you some information so that you have it for your purposes, and then you can make a decision from there. Your MyBookie.ag Titans best bet. Let me give you the lines on this game coming up here. The Tennessee Titans, the spread has moved according to MyBookie.ag. The Titans were a 2-point dog to Pittsburgh, a 2-point home dog. They are now a 1-point favorite. They are -1 according to the MyBookie.ag spread. They are the money line. It's Pittsburgh -105. It is Tennessee -115. The over/under set at 51.5. The MyBookie.ag best bet. What is your best bet here this morning? While you guys get your best bets in, I will tell you about where you should be making your best bets, and that is MyBookie.ag. That promo code you see right below my not yet groomed head is My Titans. That's how you double your first deposit at MyBookie.ag. Use that code; they'll double your deposit up to $1,000. So you can get dollar for dollar from MyBookie.ag up to $1,000, and you can make your NFL best bets here this morning. We'll put a bow on it this way, and I will give you my MyBookie.ag best bet on Titan Game Day morning, and then we'll wrap this thing up. The way that I'm looking at this is that it is going to be a Derrick Henry best bet, but not the one that not the place that you would normally look to make a bet on Derrick Henry. I am looking at Derrick Henry over 10 receiving yards at minus 114. And I think that if it was my money, and I can, it's easy for me to bet with your money because it's not my money, but if it was my money, Derrick Henry over 10 receiving yards at minus 114, I think that's pretty good. I think those are pretty good odds. I would take that and I would run with it. Derrick Henry over 10 receiving yards. That's the MyBookie.ag best bet this morning. And that's Titan Game Day morning because I got to get running. You guys have been great. I'm heading over to Nissan Stadium now. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to fix my face. I'm going to get in the car, and I'm going to go watch two undefeated football teams face off at Nissan Stadium today. I hope you guys enjoy the game, enjoy the NFL slate today, and I wish you all the luck. But hopefully, if nothing else, let's see a competitive football game. That's what we're looking for most. I will talk to you guys tonight after the show or after the game on A to Z Sports Prime Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. I'll be back in the home office for that. Austin and Zach, if you want to watch the game from a bar, they're over at the Mainstay in East Nashville. They got pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage for you there from the Mainstay in East Nash. Enjoy the game. Peace and love as always. And we'll see what happens at Nissan Stadium